We're talking breakfast with Dan and Jenny
on ABC Newcastle.
Bullying, exclusion, suspensions, they are going to be the focus of some of the stories that are told to a parliamentary inquiry this week. It's looking at the education system, the experiences of our students with a disability. Now, this inquiry has come after the Royal Commission into Disability looked at how to end segregation in our education system.
The final report suggested the possibility of closing special schools. The University of Newcastle's Dr. David Roy has made a submission to the state inquiry. Lives with a disability, has a child with a disability, is a researcher and teacher. Dr. Roy, welcome back to ABC Newcastle.
Hi, good to be here this morning, Dan and Jenny.
What do you want the inquiry to know, Dr. Roy?
Well, I think we just need to have a check on where we are with supporting children with a disability in New South Wales about 7 years after the last parliamentary inquiry in 2017 to see have things actually changed, has the experience for children and the families and the teachers in the schools, has it improved, have things been implemented? And I think there have been some good things. I think there's a lot still to do.
Dr. Roy, I just want to apologise. We're having a choppy phone line. We can hear you, but we're going to keep everything crossed that it hangs in there. So when it comes to the experiences of students, we know that everybody should be supported to find their best outcome in school. In your view, how is that best done for students with a disability?
Well, the best way possible would be through inclusion. That means through children with a disability or from any grouping all being together in the same classroom in a school. However, our situation, our school system is not set up that way through staffing, through funding, through the infrastructure, which means if we're going to have that, we need to have a transition. And that was one of the things recognised by the Royal Commission. Some saying that we could do it partly, some saying something we could do it fully. The ideal is that, but if we want that, we're still going to have to make some significant changing, and that will be in policy, and that comes down to government willingness to do so.
The segregation has happened in the past for right or wrong reasons. If you were to bring all these students together, would that have a problem on students that don't have a disability, Dr. Roy?
No, we actually find that in those jurisdictions, and particularly in Europe, that have full inclusion, you find that all the kids work together and accept each other. Kids will accept their differences much more than adults will. The problem we have is we're already understaffed in schools as it is, and we need a great deal more staffing with a great deal more training for this to happen. So for those who go, we need to do the full inclusion now, it's a lovely idea, it's not practical. For those who say we can't do it, well, we've said that about many groupings coming into schools, whether it be from different races or even sharing genders. So it can happen, there just has to be a will for it to happen, and everyone benefits in the long term.
Are there other countries or states that we could look to as an example?
Absolutely. We could look towards Italy. We could look towards Portugal. We could look towards Finland. We could look towards Scotland. I kind of maybe biased within that one. All these countries are doing full inclusion within the classroom. And interestingly, they have very little independent, separate private schools. And there seems to be a linking between that. When everyone has to go to a public school because that's all there is, you tend to find that the system changes to be inclusive for all.
I know loads of teachers who want the best for every student in their classroom. But if we've got a busy classroom with 20-something kids and a whole lot of different needs and abilities going on, what can we do to make sure teachers do the best job but are also feeling supported?
Yeah, well, that's why we need to change the way we actually structure our schools and have a much higher staff to student ratio, and also more teachers coming in to support those kids so the qualified teachers can deliver the knowledge, and then the support staff within there can help all those kids who are challenged. And we've got to remember there's lots of kids who are challenged with numeracy and literacy and other areas who do not have a disability but need extra support as well. And we seem to be able to provide that for them. Can't we do it for everyone?
Dr. Roy, I hate to end on a question, and especially when it feels like there's so much more to discuss here. That phone line is just not being kind to us. Let's make a date to have you in studio where we can get down into the nitty-gritty of some of these issues soon. But thanks for discussing it with us this morning.
Yeah, that would be great.
Thank you very much.
The University of Newcastle's Dr. David Roy there has a disability, has a child with a disability, has been a teacher and is now a researcher with the university, making a submission to that parliamentary inquiry looking at our education system and how it treats people with a disability, how they can be more inclusive. So you'll be hearing more about that parliamentary inquiry throughout the week.
And sorry about that phone line, because it is an issue that affects so many people. You may yourself have experiences of this and have feelings within your family. So let's let you know when we can have Dr. Roy in the studio for a good chat to get down into the issues that he's raising and the issues that will come before that inquiry this week.